Hi, aloha. So, this is another thing that I just wanted to share today, and this is about you. This says, I am the light of the world, and I know it's backwards, but more importantly, you are the light of the world. And here's what the back of the card says. This is from Everyday Miracles, um, a 50 card deck of lessons from A Course in Miracles by Holly and Robert Holden. So this is the message. I am the light of the world. This is my function. This is why I'm here. And I thought this would be a great opportunity. Um, I asked Yeshua, what would you want me to share today? And he says, share about the Holy Instant. So I'm in the Sparkly edition today. I don't, I have my FIP version right over there, but I'm not able to get it. So I'm going to go from this one. This is the Sparkly edition. I know it's backwards, but you get the drift. And so this is on page 362 of the Sparkly edition. And it's called, this is the part, forget which, it's a little different how these are done. Maybe it's, let's see here. I promise not to do another. Anyway, 15, the purpose of time. And this is on page 362 in the Sparkly edition, um, the Holy Instant and the Laws of God. I need to get used to looking over there. All separation vanishes as holiness is shared. Yeah. For holiness is power, and by sharing it, it gains in strength. If you seek for satisfaction and gratifying your needs as you perceive them, you must believe that strength comes from another, and what you gain he loses. So one must always lose if you perceive yourself as weak. Yet there is another interpretation of relationships which transcends the concept of loss of power completely. You do not find it difficult to believe that when another calls on God for love, you your call remains as strong. Nor do you think that by God's answer to him, your hope of answer is diminished. On the contrary, you are far more inclined to regard his success as witness to the possibility of yours. This is because you recognize, however dimly, that God is an idea, and so your faith in him is strengthened by sharing. What you find difficult to accept is the fact that, like the Father, you are an idea, and like him, you can give yourself completely, wholly without loss, and only with gain. Isn't that great news? Herein lies peace, for here there is no conflict. In the world of scarcity, love has no meaning, and peace is impossible, for gain and loss are both accepted, and so no one is aware that perfect love is in him. In the holy instant, you recognize the idea of love in you, and unite this idea with the mind that thought it, and could not relinquish it. By holding it within itself, there was no loss. The holy instant thus becomes a lesson in how to hold all your brothers in your mind, experiencing not loss, but completion. Wow. Sometimes, I've read this so many times, but then there's always when you really get it, and you know what I mean, like in your being. I'm going to read that again. Let me put this here for a moment. Where was I? Okay. The holy instant thus becomes a lesson in how to hold all of your brothers in your mind, experiencing not loss but completion. From this it follows you can only give, and this is love, for this alone is natural under the laws of God. You feel that? That's just amazing. And to think, even further, Yeshua is actually doing that every single moment that we appear to be here and that he just seems to be away because he's never left, yeah? Sorry, it's hot, so I'm my back. Let's move on. In the holy instant, the laws of God prevail, and only they have meaning. The laws of this world cease to hold any meaning at all. When the Son of God accepts the laws of God as what he gladly wills, it is impossible that he be bound or limited in any way. In this instant, he is free as God would have him be. For the instant he refuses to be bound, he is not found. In the holy instant, nothing happens that has not always been. Only the veil that has been drawn across reality is lifted. That's what forgiveness is. Forgiveness is forgiving the not truth for what is, you know, the shadows to the truth, if that makes sense. Yet the awareness of changelessness comes swiftly as the veil of time is pushed aside. No one who has not yet experienced the lifting of the veil and found himself drawn irresistibly into the light behind it can have faith and love without fear. Yet the Holy Spirit gives you this faith because he offered it to me and I accepted it. Wow, just think about that. Jesus didn't come here to be like some kind of better than you special being. He demonstrated what all of us are capable of, and what we will eventually all do. And we're doing it right now, except our faith is still wiggle wobble. Some more than others, but you know, but just think about that for a minute. Everyone that seems to appear here will accomplish this and even greater. Let's move on. Fear not, the holy instant will be denied you, for I denied it not, and through me the Holy Spirit gave it unto you, as you will give it. Let no need that you perceive obscure your need of this, for in the holy instant you will recognize the only need, the aspect of the Son of God, share equally, and by this recognition you will join with me in offering what is needed. It is through us that peace will come. Join me in the idea of peace. Now, idea is all capital letters, by the way. Join me in the idea of peace, for in ideas minds can communicate. If you would give yourself as your Father gives his self, you will learn to understand selfhood. And therein is love's meaning understood. But remember that understanding is of the mind, and only of the mind. Knowledge is therefore of the mind, and its conditions are in the mind with it. If you are not only an idea and nothing else, you could not be in full communication with all there ever was. Yet as long as you prefer to be something else, or would attempt to be nothing else, and something else together, the language of communication, which you know perfectly, will not remember. You will not remember, son. Last paragraph. In a holy instant, God is remembered, and the language of communication with all your brothers is remembered with him. For communication is remembered together, as is truth. There is no exclusion in the holy instant because the past is gone. The past is gone. And with it goes that whole basis for exclusion. Without its source, exclusion vanishes. And this permits your source and that all of your brothers to replace it in your awareness. God and the power of God will take their rightful place in you, and you will experience the full communication of ideas with ideas. Through your ability to do this, you will learn what you must be, for you will begin to understand what your Creator is and what His creation is, along with Him. I'll go into a little bit of the holy instant and communication, because I'm hearing like this is important. So, beyond the poor attraction of the special love relationship, and always obscured by it, is the powerful attraction of the Father for His Son. There is no other love that can satisfy you because there is no other love. This is the only love that is fully given and fully returned. Being complete, it asks nothing. Being wholly pure, everyone joined in it has everything. This is not the basis for any relationship at which the ego enters. For every relationship on which the ego embarks is special. The ego establishes relationships only to get something, and it would keep the giver bound to itself through guilt. We'll go here. The sick attraction of guilt must be recognized for what it is. For having been made real to you, It is essential to look at it clearly, and by withdrawing your investment in it, to learn to let it go. No one would choose to let go of what he believes has value. Yet the attraction of guilt has value to you only because you have not looked at what it is and have judged it completely in the dark. As we bring it to the light, your only question will be why it was ever wanted. Why you ever wanted it, sorry. And you have nothing to lose by looking open-eyed at this. For ugliness such as this belongs not in your holy mind. The host of God can have no real investment. I feel like that's a good place to stop. The purpose of time, the holy instant, and communication 15. So that's where I'm going to leave it, my beautiful, beloved, holy companions. I hope you joined in this truth. That's something land for you, but it's mostly the Holy Spirit and Yeshua. They're true, and I trust them. Until next time, aloha and a hui hou. Bye.